So thanks again, Scott. So now it's time. So yesterday you heard, it's PitchFest time. So yesterday you heard from 8 organizations overviewing their capabilities. And that was pretty great. And in fact, I was really blown away. So today you'll hear from 8 more. Yesterday I introduced Apurva Bajaj. I'll do it again. He's the Innovation Manager at the Center for Collaborative Adaptive Sensing in the Atmosphere. And today you heard him talk about what he's doing out there as part of that first panel. So that's excellent. What we do know is he's passionate about developing the weather sensing solutions, etc. But also he's the guy behind our PitchFest here. So Apurva, if I can pass it on to you.
Thank you, Wasim.
And I'll change slides when you're ready.
I'm ready.
You're ready. There you go.
All right, folks. So we've made it to 2 days of programming, and you can think back of, when you go to an actual conference and you've gone through 2 whole days of, listening to presentations. If you're that researcher or if you're that startup who got left out of all the conversations, you're like on the exhibit floor now thinking, how can I get to speak to somebody, right? And if you're someone who has presented and has been busy taking notes all this time, you're ready to kick back, grab an adult beverage or grab your coffee and take in the conference. So the PitchFest is ideally suited right now to let you hear about these companies and startups that you probably haven't heard about before. And we're going to get started. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to play playback videos submitted by these 8 different organizations. Amy Fagerland from MassDOT, managing special projects there, is going to play these videos for us as I introduce all the speakers. If you have questions, put them in the chat, and the representatives from those companies will answer them in the chat. So having said that, let's get started. So earlier today, you heard me with Ralph talk about the capabilities of the Skylar radar. And we have an exciting video showing those capabilities.
When safety and security are at stake, you need to see what's out there, see what's coming, and to see if it's going to be a problem. If you don't have eyes where and when you need them, you're completely in the dark. Skylar, the low-altitude multi-mission radar from Raytheon Intelligence and Space, covers what today's radars miss due to size or lack of visibility. This innovative technology has the unique ability to adaptively change how it looks at the airspace. Skylar is designed to integrate into existing infrastructure, including cell phone towers, rooftops, vehicles, or almost anywhere. And when multiple Skylar sites are strategically distributed and networked together, they work cooperatively to deliver high-resolution data for many applications, adding much-needed awareness and increased capacity, providing airspace surveillance in and below the terminal environment, remote tower operations, safe guidance of manned and unmanned aircraft, and critical data enabling aircraft to avoid potential hazards. Skylar also features enhanced detection and tracking of aircraft near wind farms where traditional radars are challenged. And because Skylar is a multi-function data generator, it can apply insights and data from one application to support another, like combining micro-weather data on a fast-moving storm and low-altitude surveillance data to enable an advanced air mobility ecosystem. As for Future Ready, Skylar is designed to meet today's standards and to provide data necessary to maintain clearances for the aircraft systems of tomorrow. Skylar is changing the way we think about affordable, low-altitude surveillance platforms. With Skylar, you'll see everything. It's radar reimagined.
So thank you to the Raytheon team for providing that video. I wanted to remind folks there's a network of Skylar radars right here in Massachusetts. So engage with the Raytheon team and ask them questions in the chat. There's a bunch of representatives here. So next up, when we had the PitchFest for the first time in 2019, we had a company come out of stealth and announce itself in the unmanned space. And that was an exciting opportunity for that company. this year too, we have a company that was in an adjacent space and saw all the opportunities in the unmanned space and decided to take part. So with that, I'd like to introduce Greg Erdman, VP of Global Sales for NRG Systems. This is a Vermont-based company. So take it away, Greg. Thank you, Greg. And he's available in chat to take your questions. You know, as a weather geek, I really enjoyed that video, and I'm really looking forward to the days we can see these LiDARs deployed in Boston and across Massachusetts, along with the radar networks, and provide critical wind information, especially at Vertiport locations. All right, so next up, we have David Kovar. He's the CEO and founder of URSA Incorporated, and he's going to talk to us about a technology that actually Frank Cerna was talking about earlier today from Draper, saying that we need ways and services that help us to validate, you know, the other systems that people are providing. So David Kovar is Hampshire-based, and he's going to talk about this particular technology that helps to evaluate how good counter-drone systems work. So let's hear from David.
Hello, I'm David Kovar, the CEO and founder of URSA Incorporated. We help users, vendors, and regulators manage operational and reputational risks relating to unmanned systems through the use of our telemetry analysis platform. We are deeply rooted in New England. We live and work here. We went through Techstars AFWERX 18, and we mentored 19 and 20. We are an active member of Mass Robotics Drone Working Group, and we are donating time and resources to the Massachusetts State Police, Boston Police, New Hampshire State Police, and MassPort to improve their ability to detect and investigate malicious UAVs. Through our work with the FAA, we are helping everyone better understand how manned and unmanned systems are interacting in the national airspace. Our platform was recently used to collect, preserve, and analyze data from 14 counter-UAS systems in a major test and evaluation exercise. To say that we learned a lot about future requirements is an understatement. There is certainly a lot of work to be done, but it is already clear that we are uniquely qualified to help counter-UAS operators, procurement staff, and evaluators understand how counter-UAS systems do and do not perform. If you are considering investing resources in counter-UAS systems, you should also consider investing in URSA first to ensure that the systems actually solve the problems you are trying to address. Thank you very much.
An unknown UAV flies near a sensitive airfield. Multiple counter-UAS systems engage the UAV and attempt to detect, identify, track, and ultimately neutralize the threat. The UAV falls short of its goal. Why? Did the counter-UAS systems work as expected? If so, what evidence supports this claim? Or did the counter-UAS systems fail? And if so, why? Security and safety depend on the effectiveness and accuracy of all counter-UAS systems involved. Thorough, repeatable, and fully documented testing of counter-UAS systems was impossible until now. But with URSA Test, program managers, operators, and analysts can now perform comprehensive testing and evaluation of counter-UAS systems. Results can be compared over time and under a variety of conditions. URSA Test provides a proprietary ambient environment telemetry package capable of capturing and recording RF, environmental, optical, and physical conditions at the point of intended effect under nearly any conditions. Mounted on any COTS, GOTS, or proprietary UAV, URSA Test records ambient environment telemetry, documents the status of every UAV component during all phases of flight, combines that data with human observations and telemetry from all participating UAV and counter-UAS systems, and enables definitive and well-supported answers to why and how. URSA Test is the system of record for all counter-UAS testing and evaluation.
Thank you, David. Next up is actually a very exciting presentation, and this is from Rick Whitaker. And if you remember at the last Pitch Summit, Rick Whitaker showed up with a missile at the KRI facilities, and he wasn't booted off the grounds. Today, he's got an exciting video showing how these missiles work and how they're friendly and can help with our ecosystem.
Hello everyone, my name is Rick Whitaker. I am the founder and CEO of AirShare. For anyone facing threats from wayward or malicious drones, AirShare makes the world's friendliest guided missile to safely and cost-effectively mitigate those threats. So you may have picked up on the word friendly in our tagline, which is not normally a word you'd associate with missiles. So how can that be? Well, that's because AirShare's interceptors are 3D printed steerable plastic hobby rockets that don't explode or hit the offending drone, but rather disable it with a non-lethal cloud of biodegradable plastic strips. The interceptor has all the same sensors and control mechanism as a fixed-wing drone, but with a hobby rocket motor for the propulsion system. The system is designed to safely disable wayward drones up to 2 miles away using these environmentally friendly countermeasures. While the body is missile-like for aerodynamics, it is about the safest way to stop a wayward drone from causing harm in urban environments. AirShare Systems is a US-owned small business located in downtown Boston. We started in 2018 and have now grown to 6 locations globally, including a satellite office near Tampa, Florida, 1 branch office for international business, and 2 private test ranges, one in Canada and the other in Guyana for extreme cold and extreme hot weather testing. We are honored to have been supported by and providing solutions to several commercial and defense organizations who are all wrestling with drone air traffic management. And in fact, AirShare entered the counter-drone market as a response to commercial air traffic disruptions caused by wayward drones. And of course, this issue was not unique to commercial airports, but to private enterprises and defense installations as well. This issue has now grown to include threats from near-peer actors, which are developing swarming attack systems. AirShare's Overwatch system consists of Block Series interceptor missiles, ground and vehicle-mounted launchers, and command and control systems. So let's take a look.
I copy you are cleared to fire.
Thank you, Rick. So from prototype to video, Wasim, I think at the next UAS summit that's in person, maybe we'll get a real-time demonstration of their systems. All right, so next up we have Brian Stream, the CEO of Vermeer. So Brian has developed AR and VR solutions for the UAS industry. So before we play that video, I just wanted to say I was having a tough time getting in contact with Brian and getting this video in. And I just learned yesterday that his company had secured a $980 million contract from the Air Force for the technology you're about to see. So let's watch this video from Brian.
One of the other things that we've built is we built an augmented reality headset application. So as you can see here, the drone is represented by a blue pyramid again. And in augmented reality, we project a high fidelity 3D model of a real world location here. So this individual is actually standing in a building that is represented in the 3D model as this building. And there's actually a drone flying outside the window here. So as you can see, with simple gestures alone, the user in near real time is able to manipulate the position of the drone. And now this is our commercial application that's currently on the App Store. The idea is the user pulls up an augmented reality 3D model of a real world location. The screen of the phone acts as what the camera of the drone is going to look at. And then the user, if they want to create a pre-visualized drone mission, simply pushes the phone through space. And now notice, this gesture she's doing is actually quite similar to, this hand motion that we saw Spielberg doing. And now we're able to play back this virtual movie file of the pre-visualized mission. And now don't blink, because now we could take this pre-visualized mission and send it to the drone. And this is the footage, the real footage you actually get. So to the left is the pre-visualized drone mission, and to the right is the autonomously executed mission based off of that flight path created in the virtual world. And, we think there's a lot of different kind of applications for the technology in the commercial space, anywhere from large media companies, energy pipeline companies, a few of whom we're talking to. We've had a lot of interest in UTM, which is kind of the highway to the sky that they want to build for drone operations, large security companies, commercial real estate companies, and so on. So when we, about a year ago or a year and a half ago, we thought that there would be a large interest in our technology in the DoD space, but we had no idea how to really enter it. We were fortunate enough to get into the Techstars AFWERX U.S. Air Force program located in Boston at the beginning of the year. This was a program that I think looked at a few thousand companies and selected 10 companies that essentially solved a critical DoD pain point. And these young innovative companies that they wanted to inject into the bloodstream of the DoD. So we were fortunate enough to get into this program. It was amazing. It was kind of in 1 month we had 200 meetings, bang, 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 with who's who in DoD. And within about 2 or 3 months of effort, we actually secured 2 phase 2 contracts, each for about $1 million with AFRL and AVSOC. And we were also, and TechCrunch also named us one of the top 10 picks in May in terms of startup companies.
So that was Brian, and with a big shout out to Techstars, the program that helped Brian quite a bit with where he is right now. Next up, we have a friend and colleague of mine from UMass Amherst. It's Michael Plotnikoff with the UMass Transportation Center, and he's going to talk about research, education, and training opportunities offered through UMTC. So let's hear from Michael.
Hi, my name is Michael Plotnikov and I'm a research fellow at the UMass Transportation Center. Today we'll talk about our strategy to advance interdisciplinary collaboration with innovative UAS technology. As a part of the presentation, we'll discuss a few recent successful examples of such collaboration. We strongly believe that university settings provide a perfect testbed to expedite UAS adoption for many scientific and industrial applications. The collaboration includes three major focus areas: research, education, and training activities. Collaboration and partnership bring together academia, government organizations, industry partners, and other stakeholders. One of such successful examples of collaboration was the establishment of UMass Air, an interdisciplinary UAS research and education initiative. The goals of this collaborative included performing a world-class research with the help of innovative UAS technology and remote sensing, promoting a multidisciplinary collaboration between academia, government, and industry partners, and preparing a new generation of researchers and operators familiar with advanced UAS technologies. Another example of successful collaboration includes a research project focused on integration of UAS technology into bridge and rail inspections. The project has been conducted by the UMass Transportation Center research team with the field support provided by our industry partner GPI. The research has been sponsored and guided by Massachusetts Department of Transportation and the Federal Highway Administration. Finally, the establishment of off-campus facility at Westover Airport to host air traffic control simulator can serve as another successful example of collaboration. The construction was supported with $5 million grant from Massachusetts Military Task Force, and the simulator has been purchased with the support of another $500,000 grant from the Böhler Foundation. The 360-degree air traffic control simulator developed by our industry partner UFA will become the first installation of such kind in the United States operated by academic institution. The simulator is going to provide UMass Transportation Center with new opportunities on UAS and other aviation research, education, and training. Collaboration enables us to bring to the table complex technologies such as the latest UAS platforms and modern avionics, advanced data collection sensors, robust software for flight planning, data collection and processing, and our state-of-the-art air traffic control simulator. Our extensive expertise in UAS technology, long track of collaborative experience with academia, government and industry, as well as access to the latest tools to conduct advanced UAS research, make UMass Transportation Center a desirable partner for further collaboration and a frontrunner for a variety of funding opportunities. We are always looking forward for new collaborators. So, if you are interested to work together on aviation research, education, and training, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I encourage everyone to reach out to Michael to make use of the Westover ATC simulator laboratory facility. Next up, we heard from Robin Grace from MassDOT yesterday talking about a program for helping airports with obstruction management. Today, she'll talk about how the drone team is supporting railway vegetation management. So let's hear from Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin Grace. I'm the Senior Program Manager for the MassDOT Aeronautics Drone Pilot Program. I'm excited to talk today about our program and a recent project on utilizing drone technology for vegetation management. Our program is focused on leveraging UAS technology in a variety of use cases in support of the MBTA, MassDOT Highway, Aeronautics, Rail and Transit, as well as other Commonwealth agencies, including DCR, MSBA, and EOTS. These use cases include inspections, asset management, and incident response. This pitch is focused on our efforts to supplement the MBTA Vegetation Management Program. Those of us familiar with the New England region know that we have a variety of fast-growing trees and vegetation. The management of vegetation around rail tracks is vital to prevent rail disruptions, especially after storms. The MBTA is responsible for over 450 miles of commuter and light rail track, supporting over 130,000 commuter rail passengers pre-COVID. Timely drone data enables the MBTA to prioritize tree cutting operations, as well as gain insight regarding vegetation on and around the tracks. This information not only saves time, but it also minimizes cost and of course improves safety. Anytime one is operating in a rail environment, safety is paramount, not just for UAS operators and ground personnel, but also for the rail passengers utilizing the services. We've worked hand in hand with the MBTA to develop procedures enabling flights on large sections of the rail without impacting scheduled rail traffic. And up to this point, we have flown all operations with zero impact to the rail operations schedule. We gained quite an operational history in 2020, flying and gathering data of over 75 miles of commuter track and over 26 miles of light rail track, which we call the T, and over 150 drone flights. In the future, we hope to build upon 2 BVLOS waivers acquired over portions of the railway. For this operation, we collected 2 types of data for the MBTA. Geo-rectified images presented in ArcGIS, which enable quick delivery and access to decision makers, enabling them to assess the vegetation condition of the tracks. In addition, we collected multispectral data, which helps with long-term forecasting. This is advanced imagery, which can indicate tree health and plant classification, which is important because trees in poor health are more likely to fall on the track, and some species are more problematic than others. Thank you for your time and attention today. I look forward to connecting to anyone who is interested in our program.
Thank you, Robin, and please leave questions for Robin in the chat. This brings us to the last video of the day. This is from Matthew Grechek. He's the CEO of PteroDynamics, and you're going to see his presentation about a vehicle designed for long duration flights. It's a VTOL aircraft that transitions from rotorcraft to fixed wing configuration, giving it that ability to do those long endurance flights. So let's hear from him.
PteroDynamics is a US-based aircraft manufacturer headquartered in Southern California. We have developed a radically different vertical takeoff and landing, or VTOL, aircraft design that we call transwing because it folds its wings during flight to transition between rotorcraft and fixed-wing configurations. Our transwing design is unlike any other aircraft design and protected by several US and international patents and has many critical advantages, the greatest being several times longer range and endurance for any given energy source, payload, and operating ground footprint. Incorporating variable pitch props increases range further by a factor of at least 2. Transwing aircraft generally have a 75% smaller operating ground footprint versus other VTOL designs with a comparable size and cruise flight. This gives transwing aircraft helicopter-like controllability in takeoff, landing, and hover flight and permits operations in more compact touchdown and liftoff areas. Transwing aircraft have up to 70% of the range of a comparably sized conventional fixed-wing airplane that requires a runway to take off and land and has the same speed capability of a fixed wing with a comparably sized propulsion system. The transwing design is a relatively simple one with propulsors that are fixed to the wings, a joint attaching each outer wing to the center wing on the fuselage, and an articulation mechanism that folds and unfolds the wings during flight. Almost immediately after takeoff, transwing aircraft can begin their outbound transition and within just a few seconds can complete their transition to fixed-wing mode for cruise flight, where its flight efficiency is about 5 times greater than in its VTOL configuration. The inbound transition can be just as fast, minimizing the time the aircraft spends in the less efficient VTOL mode. Both outbound and inbound transitions are benign, permitting complete control authority of the aircraft, which can even be flown for prolonged periods in any stage of transition. Transwing aircraft are the ideal solutions for ISR and cargo transport missions where long range and high endurance are mission requirements, but runways are not available and you want to avoid using launch and recovery infrastructures. Transwing aircraft can be transported in their ready-to-fly configuration without requiring assembly because they are already inherently compact in their takeoff and landing configuration, with the majority of their wings folded along the fuselage. Transwing aircraft can scale in size from something that fits in a backpack to the ability to carry thousands of pounds, whether that is cargo and/or passengers. And there is nothing in the transwing design that restricts the choice of propulsors from electric motors with props to jet engines, or the source of power from batteries and hydrogen fuel cells to hybrid electric power systems. We believe that transwing aircraft can be designed to exceed 400 miles per hour. We are in advanced flight testing of our 6.6 and 12.3 foot wingspan all-electric models and are building a 36-foot wingspan, ultra-long range and high-endurance hybrid electric transwing demonstrator. These aircraft can be piloted or operated autonomously. We have proven with flying aircraft at least twice the cargo carrying efficiency, which is an aircraft's range multiplied by its payload weight fraction over that range, compared to all other VTOL aircraft designs. PteroDynamics has secured venture investment and Department of Defense funding across several projects and customers, with more projects pending. We are registered with the U.S. Department of State for exports that would be controlled by ITAR restrictions. We are looking to connect with prospective customers who have a need for the mission capabilities of our transwing aircraft and other solution providers that have technology that could improve our aircraft. More details are available at PteroDynamics.com, including plenty of video of real aircraft flights.
So thank you, Matthew. Please reach out to Matthew, as he said, for collaboration opportunities. And with that, we come to the end of the PitchFest. I hope you found that interesting. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank all the presenters from yesterday and today for submitting their videos and making these presentations and for being available on chat. I wanted to thank Amy Fagerland and Sharon Benedict, both from MassDOT, who did all the behind the scenes work to get all the slides and videos together. Appreciate their help. And I also wanted to make a special call out to Warren Katz, who is the managing director of Techstars. As you saw, a lot of the companies that presented over the 2 days were, as Warren Katz describes, his children, who he bought here and nurtured and got to this stage. So thank you, Warren, if you're on. So that's it, folks. Hopefully we can do this PitchFest again next year, and you'll get a chance to meet these entrepreneurs and researchers in person. With that, back to you, Wasim.
Oh, you're welcome.